Well, from all of the reports that I've given to you, I've given you proof that the old Israel was totally rejected by Yahweh their God. Now we're going to give you a bit of a summary on this so that you can put together an understanding. Looking at this chart, item 1, Yahweh said in Isaiah 6, 9-11, he spake these words to Isaiah, go and say to the people, surely you hear, but do not comprehend. Surely you see, but you fail to know. These people are fattening their hearts, hardening their ears, seeing with their eyes, lest they see, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, so they will repent and be healed. Woe to those who inscribe inscriptions of falsehood, the scribes who write fraudulent documents to deprive the destitute of justice, and to rob the justice of the poor of my people, so that widows be their spoil, and they plunder the orphans. As for you, Jeremiah, do not pray for these people, for I will not listen. Jeremiah 7. The gods that did not make the heavens and the earth will vanish. Jeremiah 10. And that's repeated in Daniel 2:44. Item 2. Israel and Judah was totally rejected by Yahweh, Ezekiel 20, and because of the evil of burning their sons and daughters as sacrifices to demons and idols, and that's repeated many places in the Bible, but you can get a reference in 2 Kings chapter 13, chapter 16, and chapter 17, and chapter 24, Jeremiah 19:5. Yahweh never considered it, nor did it enter his mind to kill sons and daughters or to sacrifice them. And he doesn't change. So you've got a false story that Yahweh told Abraham to kill his son Isaac. And why? So who inserted that story into Genesis? Fake inserts in the Bible, including the Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. This fake Day of Atonement was Satan's pathway for setting up a son of man, son of God, copy from Egypt Horus, to shed his blood atonement for the sins of mankind 2,000 years later. But only Yahweh can forgive sins, and I've given you many reports on that, but you'll get that in Isaiah 43:25, Jeremiah 31:33, Ezekiel 18:22, and Ezekiel 16:63. The message was given by Yahweh 605 BC. I am going to annihilate the pastors, the rabbis, the priests, and also all of the people who listen to this falsehood. That's in Jeremiah 14 and Jeremiah 15:1-6. Now, does the Catholic Church know that Jesus was a fake? And the answer is yes, and you've got a report on that. Now, you've had this report before, but I'll just touch on it again to refresh your mind. Yahweh said, I made the earth and the animals that are on the face of the earth with my great strength and with my outstretched hand, and I gave it to whoever was fitting in my eyes. Yahweh says, I will make the heavens tremble, the earth will rumble from its place at the fury of Yahweh, Master of Legions, on the day of his burning wrath. That's in Isaiah 13. And you've got other references there to follow up. As the old Israel was so evil, so wicked, and of course, as you've got many reports that they were sacrificing their sons and daughters to idols and demons, Yahweh is choosing a new group of people who are worthy in his eyes to be his redeemed people, to retain the name Israel again. That's in Isaiah 14 and 49, 7, 13. No one can identify who this new group is. Only Yahweh knows. Yahweh confirms that these people will be loyal, they will be faithful, true, no impure person, with no deceit in their mouth, and they are gathered from the four corners of the earth, from all nations and tongues. That's not from corrupt Jews, and you've got all the references there. Yahweh said, under my protection, my people will live in peaceful domains and in secure dwellings, in Isaiah 32:18. Their sins will be forgiven. And again, Isaiah 43:25, 44:22-28, and Jeremiah 30:33. And the resurrection is by the hand of Yahweh, not from Jesus. And that's in Ezekiel 37 and 38. Something to remind you that when Yahweh's hand of wrath and vengeance is raised, the wicked do not see it, so they do not recognize this warning. And as you know, the ruling elite, the Illuminati and the Masons and the secret society cartel have been telling the world that God does not exist. And that has enabled them to use their controlled media to give you lies about creation, evolution, and many other lies which are coming out from these people. So you will see in these chapters that the curses and the blessings are all mixed in each chapter. And you can easily see that because when Yahweh says, I will redeem my people, there's always an if. If you do this, if you do that, if you get rid of the idols. Now, this note is about where did the corrupt Talmud, Targums, Mishnah, Gemara, and the oral law, where did it all originate from? And that angered Yahweh so much that he decreed to annihilate Israel and Judah, and of course to destroy all of the wicked nations of the earth. I'll let you read item 1 in your own time, gives you a bit of a backdrop, but it'll let you realize that Rabbi Akiva, who was responsible for the oral law, he was executed with the entire minyan by Rome. And item 2, now this gives you a backdrop of what happened and who owns every nation in the world. For breaking the 1213 agreement, the loss of the crown, that is, the rights to the kingdom, went to the Pope and his Roman Church. And it says so quite plainly, to formally and lawfully take the crown from the royal monarchs of England by an act of declaration. That happened on August 24, 1215. Pope Innocent III annulled the Magna Carta in 1213. And later in the year, he placed an interdict, that's a prohibition on the entire British Empire. And from that time until today, the English monarchy and the entire British crown belongs to the Pope, the papacy. But of course, higher than the Pope stand the imperial bloodlines that have cleverly portrayed the idea that they have no power. The Pope and the Church are mere systems to cloak and frustrate any attempts at connecting the whole show together. What in history seems to be opposing forces are in fact just another dividing of the people created by Satan's, Illuminati and Masons, their ultimate benefactors of this Babylon Empire, the Holy Roman imperial bloodlines, or better known today as the Black Guelphs. And that covers all of the European monarchs today. And that's something that people do not realize, that the Vatican, the Pope and the Vatican, the Jesuits, have total control over your IMF, the New World Order, and everything that's happening in the world today is under their control. Now in this chart, you've already seen this before. I'm going to leave it there again so that you can refresh your mind. But the lies that have been asserted by the Jews and by the false scribes included, of course, the Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And of course, you've now realized from all of the reports that was Satan's way of introducing the need for blood sacrifice, blood sin sacrifice. And yet, Yahweh made it quite clear in the report that I've given to you that he did never, ever commanded or asked for any blood sacrifices during the whole 40 years sojourn out of Egypt. And of course, there in item 3, there's more to remind you of what was corrupted and how it all came into the dogma of today. I'll let you read it in your own time.
Ray, I've just got a few.
Now, this is the last chart on this report. Some of it you have seen before. As you already have seen with many of my reports, that the Jews and Judah were sacrificing their sons and daughters in a fire all the way through to about 200 AD. And it wasn't until then that the Roman Emperor Tiberius arrested all of the Jewish priests and executed them by crucifixion. Now, realize from my reports that when the ruling elite, the Illuminati, the Masons, their cartel, have achieved all of these aims listed below in item 2, that will definitely bring in the time of trouble such as never before seen on this earth. I'll read the top item in item 2, and you can read the others in your own time. The secret covenant of the Jewish secret society known as the Order of the Illuminati, issued under the supreme authority of the Jewish Bogra and sanctioned by the Jewish Rothschild dynasty of Europe and the Jewish Rockefeller dynasty of USA. There's one thing to realize in that item 48. It says, we will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one. All religions are under our control. Now, realize that includes the Jews, Judaism, all of the Christian religions, including Seventh-day Adventists. It's all been orchestrated by the ruling elite. So I'll let you stop the film, read the rest of those items, and you will see that many of these items are now linked to what is happening in the world today, and it's pretty terrible, particularly about the poisons in item 10 and the soft metals, which people are having a terrible sickness from. And of course, it tells you in the poisons will be absorbed through their skin, their mouth. They will destroy their minds and their reproductive systems. So have a read of that. Stop the film for a moment or two. Read it again so that you understand what the world is up against with the secret society cartel. That's the Illuminati, the Masons, the Club of Rome, the all of the secret society, the Fabians, are all involved under this covenant. Over many of my reports, I've made it clear to you that Yahweh's name has been deleted in all of the Bibles nearly 7,000 times. And of course, it's been replaced with Lord, L-O-R-D. And in this next chart, to finish the report, print it out.